Welcome. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We have with us Laura Hoehn, the College and Career Readiness Coordinator with LESA. Welcome, Laura.
Thank you. Welcome.
We are very excited to have you here today because I think you play an incredibly special role in our community, and I want to talk a little bit about what you do, what LESA does, and how it really ties within the whole county, really. And before we get started, I always love to offer our guests an opportunity to introduce themselves and just share a little bit of background with our listeners. I'm going to let you do that right now.
Sure, absolutely. So, like Janelle said, my name is Laura Hoehn, and I am the Career and College Readiness Coordinator in Livingston County for LESA. I am a mom of 2 kids and 2 stepchildren, and I've been in this role for 6 years, and previously I was a school counselor at Whitmore Lake High School. And I love my job. It is so much fun, and I love connecting with the people in Livingston County. And I am getting married next September, so that's a fun thing, and that's what's going on.
This September coming up, or 2022?
22.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was gonna say that is a real quick time. Congratulations, though.
Thank you.
Do you have a date yet?
Yeah, September 17th. Craig and I are gonna get married.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. That's so exciting.
Thank you.
So yeah, you definitely have a great background in education, and you're very rooted in this community as well. So, can you talk a little bit about LESA? What is LESA for maybe some of our listeners that don't know or aren't familiar?
Yeah, absolutely. So Livingston Educational Service Agency is under the leadership of Dr. Michael Hubert, and they play a big role in a lot of everything education. So you might know LESA from the transportation because you've seen the buses around, or early childhood. We have early childhood programs in our building. We have special education that goes into all of the schools in the districts. We have alternative and adult education. And what you might not know is how we work with industry. We love to get kids ready for career and college and provide opportunities for internships and other work-based learning experiences with the employers in our community.
Which is huge right now. I know this is a huge need, and it's come up not just in your segment, but many segments prior to yours, of just the need for a dynamic and just workforce in general, really.
Absolutely. And kids are hungry for an opportunity to learn what's out there because it's so different than what they see in their classroom.
It is, yes. So as the Career and College Readiness Coordinator, what is your role in that, and what are some of the things that you do?
Well, it's, like I said, such a fun job because I get to do so many creative things to try to figure out how to connect students and employers. Basically, we have looked at all sorts of exploration opportunities, including guest speakers and helping to set up connections of company tours, like for Manufacturing Day, for example, which happens in October. I've worked on a few initiatives, one that I'm super excited that's coming back next year, which is our Job Shadow Day. We help to connect students with internships, and so lots of different ways for students to network with employers and learn what skills are needed in their future careers.
And you mentioned 2 kind of key things that you've done in the past on connecting employers with students. Can you expand on those just a little bit?
Sure. So Job Shadow Day being one of them, I keep it's forefront on my mind because we get to bring it back. I'm so happy. Last year we spent a lot of time figuring out how to connect students virtually, but we are hoping that maybe this year we'll have employers that are interested in connecting with students. It's basically one day out of each calendar year of this school year. So November and March, we set up job shadow opportunities for a student to visit a business, be paired up with a mentor in that business, learn and oversee what they do on their daily role, and see if it might be a good fit for them in their future career. So we are definitely looking for employers that are excited to do that.
That was going to be my next question, because I know that you guys didn't you pilot this in 2020, just early 2020, and then we had to kind of put it on pause for a little bit?
Yes, we did it in 2019
Okay.
and had a lot of success. And then on March 20th of 2020, we were scheduled to have 115 kids go out into local businesses. And so I'm okay. I've gotten past it,
Yeah.
but we had to cancel that, and it was very sad. So
Yes. And that's exciting. I'm excited that is coming back. And you'll post dates and employer information on your website, I'm assuming?
yes, absolutely. We actually have created a Google form where we'll connect it with you and your podcast, so that if employers are excited about this or any opportunity to connect with students, if they're not ready for the job shadow, it could be something even like a virtual connection through a Zoom.
Well, and I think what's really cool about this, Laura, is that you have done a really great job of providing employers with resources on how to get started so they feel comfortable taking that next step to move into Job Shadow Day. So don't think, I think for businesses, don't think that you're in this alone and that you have to start from scratch. There's a lot of tools and resources out there that is kind of almost plug and play.
Yes, absolutely. We had gotten a grant a couple of years ago and had a great partnership team from Armor as well as Ben Franklin, Mr. Sparky, and a couple of other local businesses in our area that helped us create a job shadow toolkit per se, so that we've got every step already mapped out, and we're working on that for internships as well.
That's awesome. Now, why would you encourage a business to participate in Job Shadow Day? I know it's kind of like this thing that you're hosting, you're getting students in your door, but what opportunity and what's in it for them?
Yeah, absolutely. We always think about that because we know that this is a big, volunteer opportunity for a business to do that, and it takes time and commitment for them to be willing to bring high school kids into their place of employment. But we find that it's a great opportunity for employers to see all of the ways that kids are learning about different careers, like our career technical education courses that we provide in Livingston County, as well as our early college, and a lot of our regular classroom experiences that students have. Employers see that students have a little bit of exposure, but then they get a connection with a student that may be a local connection for a future employment. So that
Absolutely.
Feeling comfortable in a business, a student may come back after that job shadow opportunity and say, hey, I saw you have summer work. Is there something that I can do to work with you in the future? So it's great networking.
Absolutely, for the business and for the students.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I wanted to touch on elementary and middle school students, along with high school students as well. So can you share about how you're engaging at these different levels?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are actually career development standards that schools are expected to provide all the way from kindergarten through 12th grade. So how do you expose elementary and middle school students? It's a little different. It's more of the employer comes to them, or we feature, with guest speaker opportunities, or we feature them in a career fair, or we take walks around the local community to see what local businesses are and feature what their jobs are that they could potentially think about for the future. And we also do some early family financial literacy education as well, because we want students and families to be ready to go for that next step and not feel strapped when it comes to the time of graduation. So we try to hit both areas.
Yes.
What you're going to do and how you're going to get there, right?
And I think that's so key, especially at such a young age.
Yes.
And then with your high school students, you already briefly mentioned the CTE courses, but could you talk a little bit about some of the other resources available to high school students and how you're connecting them?
Yeah, absolutely. So our CTE courses, I just want to hit on those for a second,
Yes,
because
please.
they're pretty awesome in Livingston County. I should say very awesome, but I'm biased. They are housed in every single one of our districts. We have different courses like mechatronics. We have a healthcare opportunity for students to learn about health sciences. We have robotics. We have business classes and marketing classes in almost every building. So there's a lot of different classes that students can take. But we also have our early college that goes along with that, which if a student finds their area that they're really interested in, we've partnered with our local colleges to offer them college courses while they're still in high school and be able to even go more in depth and graduate sometimes with an associate's degree, but definitely with college credits. Yeah.
That's incredible. I know, and I'm going to keep moving here because I know that there's some other things that we want to highlight on, and believe it or not, we're already down to just a couple of minutes left. I wanted to just touch on your collaboration and partnerships real quick.
Yeah, I was listening to your podcast from May 2nd with Marcia Gaborowski from Ann Arbor Spark. And of course, I'm looking right across the table to one of our great partners. Our chambers have been amazing. Ann Arbor Spark has been amazing in connecting with us, as well as some of our local colleges, local nonprofits like 242 Community Church, our local financial institutions. That's all of that connection is what makes these opportunities possible and helps to make Livingston County seem more accessible for our students. And so they're driving down the road and they might have met someone from the chamber that came in and offered a guest speaker opportunity for them. And then they know that Janelle Best is at the chamber when they drive by that building, so they know who's there, right?
Exactly. No, it's great that we can have such wonderful partnerships because it is truly for the greater good.
Yes.
So, and then I wanted to touch on 4 ways for employers to connect with education.
Yep.
So.
Absolutely. So the first step is really to fill out that Google form. If you can find it on Janelle's link, and then we'll also provide that for you, then we can see what your interests are, what your needs are as a business, and I will reach out to you personally just to be able to get a little bit more understanding of what you're hoping for. Through our CTE programs, you have the opportunity to be on a teacher advisory board and give some input on what the kids are learning. With our early college, and also, the guest speakers and company tours that I mentioned, early college programs, job shadowing, and internship opportunities available through that. We have an in-school youth program in partnership with Michigan Works that is so fantastic, but I don't have time to tell you about it, so we may have to leave that for another time. And again, our job shadow day that we have coming up, just fill out that Google form and let's have a conversation. If you're a business, we'd love to connect with you.
Awesome. So, Laura's referencing there will be a link in our YouTube, on our YouTube channel, so that can be found at the Howell Area Chamber of Commerce YouTube channel. We'll put a link in there for a survey that you can take to be added to the LinkedIn group. And then, Laura, if somebody wanted to contact you directly, how would they do that?
Yep, you can just email me at Laura Hoehn, and LauraHoehn at livingstonesa.org.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Laura. We really appreciate having you on today, and we're hoping to have you on again in just a few weeks to talk about some other sides of things. Just because there is so much information here, and you provide such an asset and resources to the county that we want to make sure that our community is aware and knows about them. So, thank you again for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. I look forward to coming back.
All right, and our next guest will be up shortly.